Hello, this is Morgan Green. You are listening to Access for Airwaves. CJSW 90.9 FM. I will be the host for today's episode. Today, Dawn will be interviewing Tara Nelson from the Adaptabilty Store in the University District in Calgary. He will also be interviewing Wendy Wong, who do active website producer are online expert for adaptive clothing.
Hello, my name is John Aguilar, and you are listening to Accessible Airwaves on CJSW 90.9 FM. I am speaking with Tara Nelson, the owner and president of the Adaptability Store here in the University District in Calgary. Hello, Tara. Welcome to Accessible Airwaves. How are you today?
Hi, thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about the Adaptability Store. How did it all start? Does the name have a special meaning?
Okay, so my husband and I started this business. We have a son who's 9 who has autism and a rare genetic condition, and just trying to find supports and services for him growing up was always a challenge. It's hard to know what was out there, what was available. So we decided, with my husband's business background and my kinesiology background and our experience with our son, we decided we would put together a toolbox of things that we've either wished we had access to or things that we found hard to get. And we decided to come up with adaptability, and the name is just that. We've had to adapt to all sorts of different abilities with our son, and we found that putting a physical location was very important to us because it's very important to touch and feel and see and try all the products before buying them, so you know what you're getting and you also know what's out there.
Very great. You have a son with autism.
I do, yes.
I also do have that.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Can you tell me about your past experience working or engaging with human services? How did that influence your choices when creating your store?
Yeah, so we, especially working with FSCD, we found that they were a great resource to help get services that we needed, whether that was respite services or just ways to make our life easier, whether that's a house cleaner or different allowances for clothing, things like that. So just having those supports to be able to make our life a little bit easier, I think that was very beneficial because it can be very lonely and it can be very overwhelming and just trying to navigate the whole system. So just working with them through that has made us feel like we weren't alone and that there are tons and tons of resources available and that a lot of people have your back and they're there to support you, and that you're not alone in this whole journey. So working with them was wonderful because we can get help and we can get access to services that are going to benefit our son and us.
Very interesting. We truly appreciate what you have done by opening the Adaptability Store. You are creating access to a wide variety of supportive tools and products that benefit so many individuals' everyday lives. Can you talk a little bit about the different products that you carry in your store, how they may help a person?
Yes. So we have a ton of different areas of tools and products that we carry. We have some adaptive clothing that can help individuals that maybe have G-tubes or that struggle to dress or that just need a little bit more features to their clothing, whether that's magnetic buttons or extra zippers or just little modifications here and there. So we have that. We've got a lot of classroom aids for teachers as well. So whether that's supports to help with sensory regulation, with sensory integration, focusing, fidgeting, that kind of stuff. So a lot of different tools, slant boards that you can use in a classroom to help for vision. Lots of different tools and supplies there. Special seating, you can, like wiggle seats that can help children or adults focus and pay attention. So things like that. Writing tools for helping with printing and stuff like that. Also, we carry a lot of daily living aids. So whether that's like grab bars for your bathroom or lifts to help get in and out of the tub. A lot of just seatbelt buckle protectors for kiddos that get out of their seatbelts, things like that. And we carry mobility aids and devices. So we do rentals of those as well as purchases. So wheelchairs, home care beds, walkers. We do a lot of sensory room equipment as well. So lots of bubble tubes, lots of specialty seating, lots of fiber optic lights, things like that help with sensory regulation. Some safety equipment. We have some seizure helmets that help with falls, some AFO socks, and lots of accessories and fidget tools and jewelry, things like that to help with the oral motor stimulation and speech. And
does your storefront help with one specific disability, or does it help and address a bunch of needs?
I would say that it addresses a bunch of different needs. There is quite a heavy autism focus, but also we have a lot of customers with cerebral palsy, stroke patients, Alzheimer's, dementia. So it's not necessarily even just, it can be an acute disability, whether someone breaks their leg, or it can be something that's long-term, or someone who is perfectly typical, who was in an accident and now is going the opposite direction. So I definitely think that a lot of the tools can be used across the board. And some people may think that they're very juvenile, but some people need to learn how to retie shoelaces and their daily calendars and organizing. So anywhere from, infants to seniors, a lot of these tools, yes, may seem juvenile, but they have a very specific purpose, whether that's helping with fine motor, gross motor, all sorts of conditions that arise. So it's about figuring out what each person needs and what they're struggling with, and then we can help them adapt, as with their name, but help them adapt to whatever that challenge may be. Maybe it's a zipper pull that they struggle to do up their jacket, or they can't sit still, so they need to have something to help them to regulate and things like that. So I would say that it definitely crosses a lot of different disabilities.
We saw on your website that you also help people to create custom sensory rooms. Can you explain to the listeners what a sensory room is and why they are beneficial?
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, sensory rooms, they're a space that's specifically designed to engage and stimulate the senses by creating a controlled and safe and therapeutic environment. So that promotes relaxation and well-being. So things like soft lighting you'll find in there, some fiber optic lighting, some comfortable seating, whether that's crash pads or loungers, a lot of tactile materials, so maybe like marble walls or LED touch lights, things like that. Auditory equipment, sometimes the sensory rooms will have like a vibrasonic bench in there that vibrates to the music. That's very calming. And then lots of visual effects are in there. So bubble tubes and again, the fiber optics, different lighting, toys that light up, things that are calming. So, and even weighted blankets, shoulder wraps, vibrating items that help facilitate sensory regulation, basically. So it's mostly for, anybody can benefit from a sensory room. It helps with self-regulation. It helps with communication and interaction, especially for those who are nonverbal. Helps them to express emotions and helps them connect with others through shared sensory experiences. Improve your sensory processing skills, your fine motor, gross motor, problem solving, imaginative play. So sometimes kiddos that'll come in that are nonverbal will be able to kind of interact with the bubble tube and tell a nonverbal story by just, expressions on their faces and just that sense of calmness that they experience and, just the smiles on their faces and, just that ability to help regulate. So the sensory room will help if you're it'll help to stimulate you if you're looking for that piece, or it'll also help calm you down if that's something you're looking for. So if you're an anxious person or struggle with anxiety, then it's very much a place where you can come and relax and just decompress and feel calm. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've seen some sensory rooms before many years ago. Huh?
Yeah, no, they're very cool. And I think anybody can benefit from visiting the sensory rooms. They're a very cool place.
Yeah. What does the process of creating a sensory room look like?
So basically you would come to us and define your space, just kind of explain a little bit what your needs are and what you're looking for. And then we'll typically come out and do a site visit and we'll measure your space, see what kind of things we can put in that space and work within your budget to find items that would be beneficial for you. They can be very extravagant, but they can also be very simple with, a star projector light and a bubble tube and some calming items, or they can be very fancy and have exotic benches and all sorts of different lighting features and things like that as well. So, we really do work with our customers to create a space that's going to be beneficial. And it'll depend too, whether you're working with children or with adults or with dementia patients. So we try to tailor each room a little bit to the individual needs. So after having a little site visit, we come and we put together some drawings and send those to our customers, and then they'll give their feedback, we'll make changes, and then we work with a wonderful company, Dakota Sensory, out of Calgary, who helps us put these together and install them and make sure our customers are satisfied and know how to use them properly and that they know all the benefits of them and know what they're putting in each room.
Really nice. How has the community welcomed your storefront? Have you received any feedback or stories about a positive impact you have made in a person's life since starting your business?
Yeah, so the community has been amazing and very welcoming. It's been very positive feedback about the store. We've had just so many people come in and just say how much it was needed and how thankful they are to have this space that they can bring their kids to try and see the items. We have a lot of parents that will come in and, they're apologizing because their kid's running around and is out of control and loud and messy and stuff. And it's actually kind of sad because I'm like, you shouldn't have to apologize for those behaviors, but it's just a learned behavior when you go out somewhere that, you have to be quiet, you have to do all sorts of things. So it's really a safe place for people who can come and just, experience what we have and without judgment, without anything like that. So it's been very positive. A lot of moms will come in and they're like, I can't take my child anywhere. And he's now over there sitting at the bubble tube for 20 minutes and he never sits still. And it gives the mom a little mini vacation when she can walk around the store and shop and see what we have. Yeah, a lot of tears. A lot of people are very emotional. They have, they love to share their stories. They love to have that, the sense of community. And yeah, they're just happy to have a place where they can do that. And in particular, we've had a little girl that was over in Egypt, actually, that couldn't get a hold of a particular posterior walker that she was looking for. So she had a family member here in Calgary that we got her a little posterior walker. And so she sent it over to Egypt for her. This little girl was 9 and she'd never walked before. So she had sent us a picture of this little girl with her walker now. And yeah, so she's going to school and she's doing really well. So that was really lovely. And then another lady just out of just north of Calgary who, was financially struggling and couldn't get access to direct billing for a particular rollator that she had needed. And I mean, we had never done direct billing, but I was like, yes, let's do it. Let's get you this walker. She's like, I can't, there's no lending libraries that have this one and whatever. So we made it happen and we got her walker. And yeah, she's able to get out of her house now and she's able to do things that were keeping her constrained to her home. So yeah, so that's, those are a couple that kind of off the top of my head.
We can imagine that working in the field you are in, you come across unique and beneficial support products quite often. Are there any items or companies you want to share with the listeners and us that you are excited about?
Yeah, so we're always constantly getting new and exciting items in, trying to keep it fresh and fun and up to date, and especially coming into winter and Christmas now. So we opened in March, so this will be our first Christmas that we're operational in our store. So it'll be interesting to see how it all goes. But yeah, we're going to we have our rib cap seizure helmets that look like winter hats, but they're actually good for fall protection and seizures, or if you're slipping on ice, things like that. So they just look like a regular toque, but they're padded and safe and keep our customers happy. And then as well, we do work with Coolway Sports. So they do adaptive snowsuits and sit ski blankets, things like that. So those are some exciting ones that are coming back here for the winter. Some boots, some non-walking boots for wheelchair users, a driving glove that has a hole in the mitten so that you can put it over your joystick and still keep your hands warm and still drive safely in your wheelchair. Lots of things like that. And yeah, I think we also just got in our play couches, actually, which are really fun. They're like an 11-piece play couch. So if you have kiddos that uproot your living room and throw pillows and stuff all around, make forts. So this is just like it's an 11-piece play set couch that you can build and use your imagination, work on your gross motor. Yeah, hours and hours of fun for sure. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming in.
That's really great to hear. Where can people find out more about you and come and visit the store?
So you can come find us in the University District. We're just right by the Children's Hospital. We're 4035 University Avenue Northwest. So just on that main street. Or you can look at all our products are online. They're at www.adaptabilitystore.ca. It's great.
That's great.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's a pleasure to have you on our show today.
You're welcome.
So thank you for joining us, Tara. That was Tara Nelson from the Adaptability Store in the University District in Calgary. If you want more information on the Adaptability Store, visit the website at adaptabilitystore.ca. We are Accessible Airwaves on CJSW 90.9 FM. Hello, Wendy.
Hello.
Welcome to Accessible Airwaves. It's great to have you on.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Can you tell us about June Adaptive? What is the story behind your company and what led you to where you are today?
Yeah, so at June Adaptive, it's a website called juneadaptive.com. We sell clothes for people who live with disabilities. When I was a teenager, I had an aunt that got into a car accident and she became quadriplegic. It was a really difficult time for my whole family. Everything was confusing. We were learning about disabilities for the first time, especially physical disabilities. And we were just trying to help out as much as possible. Being a teenager at the time, I was interested in fashion. Me and my aunt would go shopping all the time. She really she really wanted to look good, and that was really important to her. One of her caregivers said, there's clothes out there that makes it easier for her to get dressed. Maybe if it's like the buttons are at the front, there's all these different requirements that help her get dressed a bit easier. That'd be great if you can find it. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I'm a professional shopper. I can find that. So I went out to the malls and tried to find these items and I couldn't find it. And it was extremely frustrating that I couldn't help her. Fast forward to today, I actually have a mother-in-law that lives with multiple sclerosis, and she also needs full-time caregivers to dress her. But after all this time, I've actually worked in the fashion industry and kind of learned about new categories and products that are available, and I discovered adaptive fashion. I bought some adaptive products for my mother-in-law, and she loved it. And I thought more people should know about adaptive fashion. And that's why I created juneadaptive.com to bring more awareness to adaptive fashion and to help more people find clothing that help them get dressed easier in the morning. So that's how juneadaptive.com got started.
How does your fashion background play into your everyday work? What are the challenges in finding or creating accessible clothing?
Yeah, so I studied fashion in school and then I started my career in buying and in wholesale. So it was my job to figure out what people wanted and needed and find like amazing items that they would want. So like I took a lot of that experience into my work at juneadaptive.com of trying to understand what people with disabilities need and are looking for and help source those products for them. Some of the challenges that that come in trying to finding these items is that there's not a lot of these products out there and it's a bit difficult to find. So there's a lot of researching and understanding what people might need to help them get dressed easier and to find these items. So it's really the most challenging part is trying to find these items out there in the market.
Great. It's really interesting. We know that starting a business can come with many new learning experiences. Have you had any setbacks when starting your company? And do you have any advice for people?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. Starting a business isn't easy. You're trying to get your name out there and get some recognition with your brand. I think the biggest challenge is just being like a small player and just finding new customers and finding a new audience. I think the biggest advice is just keep at it and take it one day at a time and grow slowly and not be too hard on yourself and celebrate small wins and keep positive and keep growing. You want things to happen right away, but sometimes it takes a bit more time. So just be patient with yourself and your business and keep building your business every single day.
That's great advice for the people.
Mm-hmm.
How do you create and provide an inclusive shopping experience?
Yeah, so we did a lot of things. I actually had my sister help me on my website. She's a user experience graphic designer, and we made sure our website complies with the accessibility standards, makes it easier for people with visual impairments to read all the fonts and the colors that we use and the design choices we have. It's optimized for an accessible user experience. We also make sure we have alt text in all our images and it's as accessible as possible. One thing we also have is also a phone number at the top, and a phone line that's easily accessible for our customers to call in to help with their orders or answer any questions that they have. We find a lot of our customers might have some challenges using the computers, so providing a phone number line just for customers to help them out with their orders has been really helpful.
That's how they created an inclusive experience for shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We know that your company makes a positive impact in the daily lives of those individuals with disabilities and their support systems. Are you able to share with us any positive feedback or stories you have received since starting your company?
Yeah, we've been really lucky. We've had over 400 five-star reviews from our customers, which is really motivating, and it means that we're doing the right thing and we're really helping people. I think that's something that really makes me happy reading all the reviews. But like one review I read is like, finally, I found shoes that I could put on my husband without hurting him. Just like the act of like putting on shoes, it's an everyday activity for people, and being able to provide a pair of shoes that doesn't hurt somebody when they put them on feels so great. So we get reviews like that all the time, and it's so great to be able to help people.
That is a lot of 5-star reviews. That's a good thing. Since the creation of June Adaptive, is there anything that you have learned about making adaptive clothing that you would change?
There's so much. I think there's so many different disabilities out there. It's hard to have one item that solves the issue for everyone. I think it's one thing to learn is that you're going to be constantly learning about different features that can help people, and what kind of products to kind of try and find that will help more people. So I think one thing I would change is like just keep being open to finding new products that will help the different disabilities out there and help people get dressed a bit easier.
Besides your online shopping, do you have any stores in Toronto? Do you plan on expanding to other locations within Canada and perhaps across the borders?
So right now we are just online. However, we do pop-up stores and pop-up shopping experiences in long-term care homes where we do clothing assessments. It's mostly in the Ontario area and mainly around Toronto, but there could be a possibilities if there's interest to expand to other areas in Canada to do clothing assessments in long-term care homes.
What do you like most about your job in this industry?
What I most love about my job is just being able to help people get dressed. As simple as that. It's an everyday challenge that they have, and when they discover these products, it changes their lives completely, just because it's something that they do every single day. And as simple as a pair of pants that has like a side zipper on it, or like maybe somebody has challenges buttoning up their shirt because they have dexterity challenges, and we have shirts with magnets on it, and it helps them put on a shirt by themselves. Just being able to help people is what brings me the most joy about my job. And it's exciting to be part of the adaptive fashion industry. It's an industry that's constantly growing. More and more companies are participating in it and joining into it. So it's really exciting to see the growth in the industry and more people join the industry.
Okay. Could you tell us where some of your products come from and how you find out about products?
Yeah, so we have several different suppliers. They ship either from the US, mostly from the US. We do have one supplier in Turkey. I was able to find it just by a Google search of finding a different adaptive brands to list on our site, and source the products based on that.
Oh, yeah, that's where most of your products come from the United States.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you'd like to add today?
Yeah, I would love to share, thanks for including me today. We have a lot of great products at juneadaptive.com.
Thank you for showing your stuff.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
We thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for listening to Accessible Airwaves on CJSW 90.9 FM. My name is Morgan, and I hope you have enjoyed this episode